How are we handling week one? Where are we looking to kind of take advantage of these markets? Obviously, more mature markets. How are you looking to bet week one, Donnie?
I mean, betting week one to me, as you know, I don't lay that much money down until week three, until it really ramps up. Because again, you're in that same thing with college football overreaction. You see week one, you let your eyes deceive you. You bet in the week two, you say, man, they really bounced back. Or that team, I didn't think they were that good. They actually are. Same thing in week one. I'm picking out a couple spots. There's a few things I like just in different situations. Oakland rode high and mighty in the offseason. David Carr, we're moving to Las Vegas. They're in a really bad spot heading to Tennessee. Another team that I like that I'm taking a look at would be the Green Bay Packers in week one. Just situational matchups. The Green Bay Packers coming in healthy. When the Packers are healthy on offense and Aaron Rodgers is healthy, I don't care if you have the 85 Bears defense out there, he is slaying you, and I think he'll do the same. So betting week one, not so much matchup-wise, just actually position-wise that you're looking at and where these teams actually have to go.
Ian Cameron, anything different for you? Week one NFL?
If you watch preseason and the starters in the preseason, you take what you saw and observed and evaluate it but you take it with a grain of salt. Sometimes things carry over from the preseason into week one. Sometimes they don't. It's situation by situation. It's team by team. I'm more concerned in the preseason, Drew, and everyone here on the roundtable, that their group looks bad in the preseason. If the pass defense, for instance, struggles on a certain team, or the quarterback struggles throughout the preseason, that means more to me than, say, an individual player. But the preseason observations are on a case-by-case basis. Sometimes you're going to see carryover from the starter's performance in the preseason into week one. Sometimes you don't. You just got to weigh it case by case. Very interesting week one board. And a reminder to everyone, just as a general rule of thumb in NFL week one, these lines have been out there for months. These lines have been pounded into shape by so many bettors, everywhere around the world for week one. It's, take a step back. You don't have to fire away and hammer the board with 8 or 9 or 10 plays in week one. Take it lightly, be very conservative, pick your spots and see if you can grind out some profits. That's really what it should be here in week one, considering you've had lines that have been widely available for months. And in a lot of cases, opinion has moved the number so much in a lot of these games that you've just lost a lot of value.
Okay. No, well said, Ian. And you can find Ian on Twitter at Babano, and Jeff Nadeau, find him on Twitter at Jeff Nadeau. Big man, how you feeling week one NFL?
I'm actually going to take a page out of Donnie Wright's book, and I think maybe other than New England Patriots, fading the public. I mean, going at and looking at getting down with the fleas, if you will. I really liked the San Francisco 49ers week one. Look, I know that we have to all bow down because Cam Newton's the quarterback in Carolina, and he's all of a sudden going to get back to his old, the way he is. But let's be real. He's had one good year in the NFL, and that was really it. I see a team that has nothing in their secondary, and I think under Kyle Shanahan, this Niners team is really going to get better. I don't know if they're going to win 6 or 7 games. They're not going to do that. But in this game, I do like them to keep it close. I'm going to get down probably with, to me, I want to back Tennessee week one. I feel like I have to back them, Donnie. I mean, Oakland's a public darling, and I don't actually get mad that I have to back Tennessee. I like this team early on. And, maybe other than the New England Patriots, I'm going to be all over fading the public because, as we know, Donnie, the Las Vegas bookmakers don't lose 2 years in a row. They didn't have a particularly good year last year overall. There was a lot of public weeks where the public was killing the NFL. I get a feeling that this year they get back a little bit even. So I'll stay away from the Patriots, but everyone else it's open season here. I'm going to look to get down with the Titans. I'm going to look to get down with the Jags and the Niners. Those kind of teams. They're all improved. Browns are a better team. Jets, though, will be off that list.
You're being very kind, Jeff, when it comes to the odds makers last year in the NFL. They didn't just lose. They got their brains beat in. They got the shit kicked out of them by the public in the National Football League. So very interesting to see if the public's able to duplicate that success this year. We'll see.
Yeah, they usually don't. The one thing, they usually don't duplicate in September. Most of the time, year after year after year, the public loses more money in September than any other month out of the year because everybody wants to bet football and nobody knows what the hell they're looking at. Again, I circled that Tennessee game. I'm glad Jeff's on that same side as well. Oakland, Tennessee, 37% of the spread tickets coming in on Tennessee, a complete line reversal. And why not? Everybody's just sitting there going, oh my God, Marshawn Lynch is on Oakland now? You got to take them. They're getting beat week one. Mark that down.
But keep in mind, Tennessee's a pretty good football team. They've improved.
A really good football team, yes.
That game, I believe, will come down to who can get a stop. And I don't know that I believe that Oakland can get a stop. I think that one's really going to hurt people. I think also maybe Atlanta, I think everyone just assumes they're going to play well because they lost the Super Bowl. Let's remember they lost the Super Bowl. They didn't win. There might be a kind of a week one. They might be a little down still. I don't know. There's going to be definitely some ones I'm opening my eyes on, but look, you can't bet favorites and continuously think you're going to win in the NFL. They don't make money that way. So for me, that's what I'm going to look to do, Drew.
Okay. And Donnie, you bring up that September, the bettors historically lose. Is that because something to do in the shape of the market going into September because the lines have been out so long? Or is that just human nature, bettors kind of walking up to the window and blowing their load, in the first month?
It's absolutely exactly correct. I mean, I don't so much care about even what the lines are. It's what the public sees. It's the guy who goes to work, all week long, can't wait for football season. He doesn't bet baseball, basketball, he bets football. And week one comes and he feels like he has to get down on 5 or 6 games on opening day and just saying, let me look at the card today. Matt Ryan? Yeah, Atlanta's not losing that game. And no quarterback for Indianapolis. I'm just going to go the Rams. Yeah, that makes sense. And wait a second, the Niners stink. Cam Newton's going to play. Yeah, I'll take that game as well. That's why the public gets their brains beat in.
He's so right. I mean, that's exactly how your casual NFL bettor thinks. They look at a card and say, well, I haven't bet in weeks. I haven't bet in months, but I fucking know the NFL. This is my wheelhouse. I'm all over this. Half the time they don't even know. I mean, and I'm not calling anyone out here, but there's people in the chat box talking about Tennessee sucked in the preseason. Who cares? I mean, what does that matter? I mean, no one cares about preseason. I mean, you can. I don't care if a team doesn't move the ball a fucking yard in the preseason. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything. No one gives a shit about it. But he's totally
Jeff,
right.
Jeff, how about this angle right here? You ready for this one? And again, if you buy picks, if you see anything coming down the pike, let's get started on this one. 457, 458. Yo, what? Boy, when he comes out of that tunnel, they're going to win by 40 in that game.
Yeah, the whole emotional thing. J.J. Watt's going to put Texas on his back.
That place is going to be fire. Like the NFL, nobody's going to let them lose opening day. They're going to blow them out.
It's the Jaguars.
Savage.
Okay, let's get this. Let's get the emotion and motivation thing settled right now about week one. This is week one of the regular season. Brand new season, fresh opportunity for every team in the NFL, good, bad, or in between. 0-0 is the record. It's time to just play game one, and everyone's going to be fired up. Everyone's going to be motivated. There's no emotional edge to be had. None. 0 in week one. Everybody's starting from scratch. Everybody's starting fresh. It's like a breath of fresh air for every team in the NFL. Motivation, a non-factor to me in week one.
There you go, Ian.
All right, boys. Great breakdown of week one NFL. Let's get into some breakdowns of some games. Let's get into 473, 474. We got the Seahawks traveling to Green Bay. Green Bay laying 3, total of 51. Donnie, you mentioned this one earlier. Green Bay is a team you're looking to back. So are you laying the 3 here?
You're taking a little shot at the Seahawks. Did you hear that, Donnie?
What was he going to call him right there? Sea-Hags, maybe?
Sea-Hags? What's that?
I thought he was hiding the fact all this time he's from Massachusetts. The Seahawks.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Seahawks.
Is that a little foreshadowing to your hate of Seahawks?
Yeah.
No, exactly. No, it's one of those spots I do like to look at. However, going against what I like, Green Bay is actually getting 62% of the spread wages, which I usually don't like, but I do like to back a home team, and I love this situation every single year. It's the same thing I've been preaching all summer long. They're a healthy football team coming into this game. I'm going to back the team that's going to be healthy on one side of the football, which with Aaron Rodgers, as long as he stands upright and has some healthy wide receivers, he's going to run up and down the field against anybody. Also, if we take a look at Seattle traveling in, again, bad offensive line. I love Russell Wilson. It's going to be a competitive game, but I don't see Seattle opening week going into Green Bay and beating that Green Bay football team. I got Green Bay by 7 this one. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Again, it's going to be a 425 nationally televised game. We'll all be tuning in, but I love a healthy Green Bay team at home to win this football game.
And Jeff, what about you? You going Green Bay, and anything on the total 51?
Yeah, I agree with Donnie here. I'm actually pretty high on the Seahawks, but like he mentioned, I mean, it's on the road. They're never a team I'm really looking to back on the road. They do have some question marks still in that offensive line. How will they play with that George Fant? How will that secondary come back this year? They don't exactly get a break week one. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, you got to face week one off of, some of the injuries they had last year. It's just not a great matchup. As far as the total, I'll kind of look that way. I'm going to want to say that I think Green Bay could put up 30 in this game. I think that's something they're going to normally do all year. I could see Seattle getting into the 20s. I would go over. What did you say they got a total 51? I could see this game like 34-23, something like that. I think Green Bay's the play here. Not huge on the over, but that would be the way I'd lean there. I just think, and what is Green Bay? Are they better defensively? That's kind of the big question. Their secondary was a problem last year. Did they do enough to address it? Is Josh Jones and Kevin King, are they guys that can come in and give them a little depth there? Can Clinton Dix keep playing well? Overall, they have a little bit of a question mark at defense as well. I would lean over 34-23, something like that, but I like Donnie's prediction as well.
Okay, and Ian, any differing opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would lean over in this game. The problem is I want to sit back. It's probably going to just stay a lean for me because I want to see what the Seattle offensive line does. But keep in mind, Russell Wilson, we know, is that kind of quarterback with his dual threat abilities, with just his intuition of knowing when to scramble, when the pocket collapses, when it breaks down, and make plays on the run outside of the pocket and look downfield and still be able to throw very accurately. Russell Wilson doesn't get enough credit for that. He throws very accurately when he's on the move. That could help in terms of masking the problems that the Seattle offensive line might have going into the season. I mean, when you look at it from the Seahawks perspective, left tackle Reese Odiambo is currently listed as projected left tackle starter with Fant out. That could be a problem. I mean, it was a weak spot last year. They thought Fant would be filling that role. Now he's hurt. Going to be very interesting to see how that blind side of Russell Wilson's protect this game. And of course, though, Wilson does have that ability to move. When you look at it, Green Bay, their defense still has issues. I like Clinton Dix, Morgan Burnett in that safety position, but the cornerbacks with House and a bunch of the others they've got there, very questionable, very suspect. I'm going to have to see if they're able to take a step forward in that regard coming into this season. So I'd lean a little bit to the over, but it's probably just going to be a lean for me.
All right, great breakdown, guys. Hey, let's head to Sunday night. We got the New York Giants heading to Jerry's World, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys laying 4, a total of 47.5. Jeff, why don't you start us off on this one? Any opinion?
Yeah, I'm all over the Cowboys in this game. I really liked them in this spot. I've made it clear all year I'm not particularly high on the Giants offensively. We have some question marks at receiver with Odell Beckham. If he doesn't play, I like the Cowboys even more here. My advice, I'd probably bet this game now. I think you're getting a pretty good number here. As far as if you like the Cowboys, I think the line's only going to go up with the Ezekiel Elliott news. Clearly, it's went up. It went up to, it was at 3.5, I think, went up to 4. I'm just not particularly high on the Giants. I can keep talking about this. I don't understand Evan Engram. I don't understand that decision. You need a running back. They haven't had a running back in years, and I don't know that their running game is going to be much of a factor this year either. Their offensive line shaky, and we can beat around the bush. I like Eli Manning more than others, but he does have some issues with interceptions. We all know that. I think the Cowboys are just a better team. They're energized. I think defensively they got better. Are they great defensively? No, but I like some of the moves they made in the offseason to get stronger there. And I do think Ezekiel is one of those guys where, look, you give him a couple weeks. If he's in there for a couple weeks, he's going to perform for a couple of weeks. He's one of those kids that, again, he's made terrible decisions. Even last week, you got to ask yourself, with all the shit going on, why is he on a party boat in a beach cove outside of Dallas? You have to ask yourself, why is he still doing this kind of stuff? He makes bad decisions. But again, on the football field, I think he'll be just fine. It's only an added piece that they're going to have here. I like Dallas in this spot at home. I think they get the job done here and win, 31-21, something like that.
Okay, and Donnie, you on the same side as Jeff?
Yeah, me and Jeff started out this show with a pretty good tussle here, but we're seeming to be agreement in a lot of these stuff. Dallas Cowboys, Jeff knows from me, I've been talking about it for a month. I didn't even care if Ezekiel Elliott even played in this football game. I thought Dallas was going to be the right play here. Again, it's all about public perception. The Giants currently getting 68% of the tickets, line not moving around that much. Now that Ezekiel Elliott is playing and also his future might be a little bit clouded, this might be one of those games, and again, it's week 1, it's the NFL, everybody's going to be excited, but Dallas might be putting a little bit of extra groove on this one, saying this is a home game, this is a divisional game. We might have Zeke for game 1 and might lose him the next 6 weeks. We don't know what's going to happen. Let's make sure we take care of business at home. Overall, I thought Dallas would win all summer long. I even told people to take it when it dipped down to 3 at one point when Ezekiel Elliott was suspended to take that game. That New York money's coming in strong. Everybody just sees, Eli Manning, Odell Beckham's going to play now. We have 1 million wide receivers, and I don't know if Dallas is going to repeat back there.
Our defense is the best in the league.
Yeah, Dallas is going to win this football game. Now that Ezekiel Elliott's back in the game, Dallas will win this game. I look for Dallas. I mean, actually a little bit high scoring, even though I know the Giants have a very good defense and I back them, and I think they have the best defense in the division. There's no question about that. But I think this game might end up somewhere in that 31-24 range with Dallas getting the victory here. But I've been on Dallas all summer long in this game. I think it's a great spot for them.
Okay, Ian, finish us off in this NFC East matchup.
Yeah, the fly in the ointment with the over in this game, Donnie, is the fact that Dallas last year made a habit of just long, time-consuming, possess the ball, methodically move the ball down the field drives last year, and they really did that to mask the defense. That was not a great Cowboys defense by any stretch of the imagination last year. I don't think they're great this year either, and I think the key for Dallas this season is going to be having those long time of possession, chewing up those long drives basically on offense and keeping their defense off the field. It's a formula that worked very well for Dak Prescott and the Cowboys last year, and I think they're going to be going to that same kind of style this year. They're going to try to keep the defense off the field for as long as possible. With the New York Giants, it's simple. With Eli Manning not having a ground game that he can rely on, I'm shocked. Nobody likes Paul Perkins and Orleans Darkwa here running the football for this New York Giants team. But without a solid ground game, Eli Manning's been decidedly mediocre. I mean, we've seen it the last couple of years when he hasn't had that ground game to work with. The offensive line is not always held up in pass protection. He's been running for his life. He's made poor throws into coverage, made bad decisions, rushed throws, just totally off his timing, totally off his rhythm. He's not a mobile, fleet-of-foot quarterback to begin with. That's a concern for me with the New York Giants going into this season. They still have a very weak, if any, ground game, and that could hamper Eli Manning's ability in the passing game as well.
And Jeff, you had something else on the Giants?
Yeah. I see a lot of talk on the chat about how dynamic Evan Engram is. And by the way, Jake Butt, Mark Andrews, Bucky Hodges were better tight ends than Evan Engram. Luckily, he was in a good system that worked for him at Ole Miss. I'm not saying I don't. Clearly, they're going to do what they want to do, but Ian just highlighted the issues that this team has at running back. You had Dalvin Cook staring you in the face. They have weapons. I don't necessarily think at that pick that was the right move there. You have to address the running game at some point to give your guy Eli Manning a little bit of a safety valve there to run the football. They just abandon it at times. Until they do that, I'm not going to be too into this team.
I hate to throw Orleans Darkwa. I did love the guy at Tulane. He was a very, very good college player. Really, really good there a long time ago.
All right, guys. Hey, we got one more NFL game we want to break down. Also want to remind everybody watching, if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up. And also a reminder for a free contest to enter, Jimmy the Bags contest. It's $25,000 worth of prizes to give out. So it's something to check out on SBR Picks. You can't miss it. Marketing it all over the site. It's something that's free to enter. I'll be entering, so it will be a lot of fun throughout the football season. So make sure to enter and try to beat Jimmy the Bag and win $25,000, and it doesn't cost you anything to get in. So make sure to check that out, guys. It starts tomorrow, by the way, the contest and the game that starts tomorrow, Thursday night. NFL, we got Kansas City versus New England. New England -9. Looks like this is a game to shop around. Make sure to check out SBR odds to get the best number. Total of 48.5. Ian, you want to start us off with the Thursday night game tomorrow night and your opinion on it?
Yeah, what was that brilliant Mark Lawrence stat from the IFBC? Tom Brady at home versus AFC foes at Gillette Stadium, 50-1 straight up, something like that. The only loss, the Buffalo Bills in Week 17 a few years ago when the Patriots were resting starters.
Ian, here's my problem with that stat. Why is that relevant? I mean, they're never laying 1 point. So why is that?
No, but the point is, with my theory, Jeff, with underdogs, is I've got to have some kind of belief that they're going to win.
Right.
Or else I'm not interested in plus the points unless I actually think they've got a chance to win that game. And I can't honestly say I feel that way about the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Spencer Ware injury is huge for them. We'll see what Kareem Hunt can do. I do have faith in him being able to be a serviceable stopgap at the running back spot for the Chiefs. But again, we're still talking about a rookie back. Let's see what he can do here with the bright lights on. And it's a very pedestrian skill position group for the Kansas City Chiefs. They got all their eggs in the Tyreek Hill basket. You know, Macklin's not there anymore. It's a bunch of issues right now they've got in terms of who are they going to throw the football to. I know they've got Travis Kelce, phenomenal tight end. I understand that. But Alex Smith is devoid of skill position weapons. This is not a very explosive offense to begin with last year. And then you look at the luck factor that was on Kansas City side. Every close game went their way. fumble return touchdowns, pick six returns. You know, they had fake punts and fake field goals, blocked field goal returns for a touchdown in a game I remember against Atlanta last year. I mean, they had everything go their way last year, the Kansas City Chiefs. Those pendulums are going to swing a little bit. I don't trust them in this spot. The problem I have with laying the points here with New England is this offense going to be as explosive? I know it's Tom Brady back there, and he's still as good as ever, even for his age right now. But the Julian Edelman injury is going to be one that they're going to need to address and do something about in terms of finding that other guy to step up, because Edelman was that optimal safety blanket for Tom Brady in the passing game. It's going to put more emphasis on Chris Hogan and a bunch of the other receivers on this team, as well as some of the backs for New England. So I'm interested to see how this offense adjusts without Edelman. So I'm not rushing to lay the points with New England, but can't say I can make a convincing case for Kansas City. I do like the under in this game. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game than people think. I think New England's offense against that KCD may take some time to adjust to life without Julian Edelman. And on the flip side, I don't see KC moving the ball up and down the field in bunches against New England. So under the total is the way I'd play it.
All right, Ian looking towards the under. Donnie, do you agree with him?
I mean, I don't know about the over-under, even the point spread in this game, but since we're on the show and you got to break the game down, it is an interesting look at this. I was on Sports Trades last night talking with Gabe about this. The breakdown comes down to me. It's not so much what you can and can't do on offense if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. It's what Bill Belichick is going to take away from you. This is not a talented team, or as talented of a team Kansas City have had over the past 3-4 years, or even since Andy Reid's been there. You're going to have a rookie running back in the backfield trying to pick up some exotic blitz schemes. They're going to take away Travis Kelce. So you're going to have Tyreek Hill out there as your number one wideout. What is he, like 5'9", just a speedster? You can only run so many read options and reverses against somebody to try to fool them and switch them up. You're not going to go methodically down the field of New England Patriots. And again, if we're looking at this line right now, sitting at 9 at Chris, 8.5 at Pinnacle, to me, in order for Kansas City to cover this game, they're going to have to get to at least 24 points in this one. I understand Edelman's going to be out of this game, but it's Tom Brady. He's a well-oiled machine all by himself with no weapons. Some of the best running backs, the most versatile running backs that he's had throughout his career are going to be on this football team right now. He's got capable wideouts. Rob Gronkowski's coming back to this game. The one thing, the 3-yard in a cloud of dust by Kansas City, you better hope Tom Brady is off. You better hope that the New England Patriots are fumbling the football to keep them in. Two things are going to happen in this game. New England's going to be fired up to play this football game, and the Chiefs will be out of timeouts by the end of the first quarter. I don't see any way possible that the Chiefs can come in and win, which is a great point by you, Ian. I'm not interested in the points either if I don't think one side is going to win the football game, because just going in and saying, I think they can hang around. That's a way to get you beat, and you're going to be separated from your money right away. This game comes down to the Patriots will take Kelce away, and who the hell is beating you on that KC team?
Yeah, this is Chris Conley and the other guy, Albert.
There's nothing. They have nothing to beat you with. And also, we're talking about a quarterback in Alex Smith who refuses to throw the ball downfield. So if you're going to try 3-yard outs all game long to beat the Patriots, they're going to lock you down. It's a wrap.
Yeah, Albert Wilson, Chris Conley behind Tyreek Hill at that wide receiver spot. Like, what are we doing here? We're trying to build a good skill position group.
We forgot J.U. Chesson. I mean, come on.
Oh,
I mean,
goodness.
he's going to come out here.
Michigan, baby.
The old
Michigan. I can smell the 30-point outburst from here.
Yeah. No, I agree with these guys wholeheartedly. They're going to take Kelce out of the game. Kareem Hunt, is he ready to be the feature back there? And Tyreek Hill's a receiver. I mean, again, I understand a slot receiver, but on the outside, I don't know that makes a lot of sense. By the way, the Patriots have the potential to be a very good secondary. I mean, they bring in Stephon Gilmore from the Bills. It seems like the Bills have unloaded every player they've had in the secondary. I mean,
I will tell you this. It's pissed off Morency, too. He's a Bills fan. New England has taken Chris Hogan from Buffalo, made him look good. Watch them take Mike Gillislee as a backup running back. They're going to make him look good. They're going to make Stephon Gilmore look good now that he's in New England. All these Bills players that were up and down, mediocre in Buffalo, Belichick's going to turn them into magic here. Watch it.
It's banner night. It's the first game of the season. It's fuck Roger Goodell up at Gillette. It's, Brady. There's no way I'm betting against them. I don't bet against them. I can't remember ever betting against them. I just don't know that Kansas City's in a good spot here to come in and get the job done. Losing Macklin hurts. You really don't have any legit receiver that you have to worry about. And Donnie's right. You'll take Kelce out of the game. Can Kareem Hunt, like I said, can he run?
Yeah, they need 24 points to hang around that spread to me. And I just don't see it. I just don't.
This game's like 31-14. By the way, CJ Spiller's with the Chiefs as well. Maybe he can be a dynamic addition. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not betting against New England, put it that way. -9 is a play for me.
Yeah, and make sure to shop around on this one. It looks like we got UWager hanging 9, Bet Online, Bookmaker also at 9, and Intertops 8.5, 5 Dimes 8.5. So this is one you definitely want to be shopping around and having multiple sports books on. But Jeff, what were you going to say?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good, Drew.
Okay. You guys want to hit on anything else NFL wise before we move on to MLB and college football?
No, I think, like I've heard from other people, I mean, it is a tougher card. I mean, you really have to look, who wants to lay 9 with the Bills? I mean, for God's sakes. I mean, I know they're playing the Jets, but under looks pretty good there. I'd be surprised if anyone gets either team gets 20 respectively. There's some interesting ones. I think we kind of highlighted them early with maybe a Niners play. I do like the Rams. I'm pretty high on that team, and I think Scott. And I'm not going to go down this angle, but it's interesting that Scott Tolzien has a job and others don't. Let's just say that. Donnie, you would agree that Tolzien's got to be one of the worst. Overall,
yeah, he's just a placeholder there until hopefully Andrew Luck gets back. I don't know where they're going, but I like the overall card itself as a viewer. For me, is nice. I get my Eagles at 1 o'clock. I'm going to get the game of the day, which I can't wait for, is Seattle and the Green Bay Packers, and then at night we all get to enjoy the Giants and Dallas. So a nice little opening card that something for everybody. You're going to have your fantasy football going on. You're going to be laying down some wagers. I'm looking forward to it.
Seattle, Green Bay, or Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Fox special. They're doing.
Oh, absolutely,
100%. Yeah.
Joe Buck, best in the league.
Hey guys, and if you're watching out there, feel free to chime in on the chat box. Real quick, we got Dale04 asking, will the Falcons cover -6 against the Bears? Want to go around the horn? Any quick thoughts on that one?
-6, good number. I think,
got 6.5 out there. Yeah, so at least it's around there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think anything under a touchdown. I kind of said in the beginning of the show, I thought, people use the whole, they'll bounce back because they lost Super Bowl. I think in this case, it's a pretty good matchup for them week 1. They should be able to do what they want to do against the Bears. Bears have all sorts of problems. Do have a decent secondary, but I don't know that they'll hold Matt Ryan down. I am interested to see, and this is why I wouldn't bet Atlanta week 1. I think the guys will agree with me here. Is their play calling going to be the same without Kyle Shanahan? Are they going to be that same team? I can't. Steve Sarkisian, again, I thought Lane Kiffin looked a little bit like Steve Sarkisian did. Lane Kiffin looked drunk on the sidelines the other day. I don't know about you guys, but he looked bloated as hell. If you come out and see Sarkisian looking bloated, he might have hit the bottle a little bit. That's a concern for me here if they're going to be the same team offensively. They have dynamic weapons, but I'm not really wanting to put my money in the hands of them week 1. It just looks too good to be true.
That's a great point by Big Man here, because Atlanta's got tremendous offensive talent in terms of player personnel. There's no question. Quarterback, running backs, wide receivers. I understand that. But the scheme, the play calling, and the offensive game plan week in and week out for the Atlanta Falcons last year was not just good. It was great. It was supreme because of Kyle Shanahan, up until, of course, his little bad moment in the second half of the Super Bowl. But other than that, he had one of the best seasons as a play caller could have. That is a huge loss in terms of the mental aspect of preparation from a coaching standpoint. We'll see if this Atlanta offense can move the ball, produce points, be as efficient in the red zone this year without Kyle Shanahan being the one calling the plays, and now with Sark there. So interesting. And how are they going to come out from an emotional standpoint? They're going to be gung-ho, ready to go, ready to put down that Super Bowl collapse behind them. Interesting game for sure. And the problem is with taking less than a touchdown with Chicago in this game is that Atlanta could be hung over for a bit emotionally early, but at some point Atlanta could just out-talent Chicago across the board, top to bottom, and still be able to easily win this game by a touchdown or more. So it's not a game I'm going to get involved with, but I'd be reluctant to take Chicago at anything less than 7.
And Donnie, what do you got?
Yeah, real quick before we get over to college football, I always like to look at week 1. You have those survivor polls out there. There's always 1, 2, 3 shockers week 1 that you said, damn, I don't think that was going to happen. If you guys want to chime in on this, my shocker of the week for a chance for a nice upset actually would be that Chicago game. New coordinator coming in on the road. The Bears, fans are going to be all fired up. It's probably going to be nice weather. Dome team going outdoors. That's the one game that I would say, you know what? That's a tough one. 22% of the tickets are being bet with Chicago. That line's not moving. Pinnacle is now shifted to 6.5. That's my shocker, which may be, one of those things where you just take a shot with one of them and say, that could happen there. That's why I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears in this one as a long shot.
Chicago can win it by defense. Their defense has got to be good, and they showed little glimpses in the preseason. The turnovers, they got to force turnovers, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Matt Ryan and Mike Glennon, and you just got to hope Mike Glennon can give you something at the quarterback spot for this team on Sunday.
Yeah, and the original question was Dale asking -6, and Big Man, you brought up a good point. It's 6.5, 7 now across the board. So laying that in the NFL on the road is a question mark in itself, not to mention all the points Donnie said. So the recipe's there.
Ian also makes a good point about, like, when you're laying down a bet, I mean, do you really want to put your hands in the money at Chicago week 1? I mean,
that's probably the only time to do it, though, right? Once they figure out they stink and go to their backup quarterback, you're going to be crushing Chicago late in the season.
Yeah, I think they're –
And you'd be –
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and if you're backing the Bears here, I'm telling you what, at Soldier Field, it's one of those situations where this has been one of the worst home point spread teams in recent years. Chicago's been an absolute money loser, money burn at home. That's definitely something we're going to have to wait and see if that changes this year. But if you've been backing the Bears at Soldier Field, it's been an ugly existence for you the last couple of years.
Yeah.
All right, guys, good NFL talk. We'll probably get back to it a little bit with best bets here at the end, but let's give a little shout out to MLB.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.